Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your moles will practically build themselves. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder's Stash. A little bit different format today. We are going to look at this kit. It's been out for a while, but I've heard some great things about it. And well, I've got some great plans for this. So let's get into it and take a look. This is the Airfix M36B1, which is the M36 Jackson turret put onto a M4 A3 hull. So look at the side of the box here, and this side of the box, well, that's interesting. This side of the box here. I wonder if it's meant to be printed upside down like this. Looks like we got a couple of different markings. So okay, let's open this up and get into it. So here, once we open the box, I see a lot of plastic, which was a very pleasant surprise. I have heard that there's a lot of the Academy kit that has been reboxed, but there's also some new tooling that Airfix has added. So I'm very anxious to get in and see exactly how this thing is going to look. So opening it up from the bags. Here we are with the upper hull of the M4A3. All the upper deck stuff, it all looks good. And this looks like an Academy, if I recall correctly. But looks good. Everything in here looks very good. Nice and crisp. Here is the turret. Turret looks great. There's quite a bit of detail in the turret top itself, and we're going to take a little bit closer look here. And yes, they could have done some separate hangers and whatnot. I think they look fine the way they are. So this sprue was interesting. You've got two different barrels. They're both 90 millimeter, two different muzzle brakes, but over on the far left upper, you've got the cover that goes over the turret that was on some later versions of the M36. So that's kind of interesting. And another engine deck. Okay, so here we've got some extra parts, which I like. There's a commander's cupola with that we aren't going to need for this particular kit, which will be great in my spare parts box. Looks like we got a loader's hatch as well, which will be great. So anyway, some decent parts here, decent spare parts here, I should say, for a Sherman, and some parts here for an actual M36 that we won't be using, some hull parts that we won't be using. So that's good. Everything here looks really good. I'm going to get plenty of spare parts out of this, and that really makes me happy. This particular sprue here, look at this. We've got another loader's hatch there. We've got a couple of jerry cans. Looks like an oil can, a few other things. So this looks like it's out of an Academy kit. Looking at the Pioneer tools, though, they definitely lack. But check this out. This Cal 50, unlike the ones on that last sprue, this one looks excellent. Check this out. And there's this sprue that has other Cal 50 parts for that particular gun. So this is going to build into a nice 50 caliber, I'm sure. The bottom sprue is definitely right out of Academy. Seen that several times. And the upper sprue, you've got some of the bogies, some fender extensions, which is interesting. So we got a couple of different kind of fender extensions here. And turning this around, you can see all these stampings and whatnot that are very typical with your Academy kits. Nice little touch, along with some canteens and jerry cans. Here's the bottom of the hull, the lower hull area, and looks good to me. I don't have any complaints with that. Now the tracks are not those hard vinyl that come in the Italieri. These are more of a rubber track, and they have the duckbills on them, which is really nice. We'll see how they assemble and paint. There are 2 of these sprues in here, and they come with the optional wheels and optional sprockets, so you can go with either or, which is really nice to have that option, and it's nice to have the extra parts too. So there you go. So that's the parts breakdown. You do have a little piece of string here for the tow cable that's provided, and to me those are fine. All right, let's get into the destructions. Here's a little history on it, and for best results, don't screw it up. Anyway, opening up, you've got the different languages, you've got the little marks that, like, this is an option, or don't glue this, that kind of stuff. But look at putting the wheels together. You do have all of these different options, which is really neat. And putting your engine deck on, your hatches, front transmission cover, all covered in this part of the instructions. Very simple, very easy to read. Here's putting on your light guards, or if you want to use the photo etched ones, bending those and getting them in place. Finishing the upper hull. Again, the Pioneer tools I'm not a fan of on this kit. Here's putting the turret together and all of the details that go into the turret, which is nice. I like this. The Cal 50 and a 30 cal. Assembling those. Putting together jerry cans and some other things. And here's your parts breakdown. This is going to be nice for the extra parts that come in it. I'm really going to enjoy that part. You've got markings for 2 different, and I didn't show you the markings, sorry, for 2 different tanks. This one here from 1945 in Europe, and this one from the early 1950s in France. So there you go. I am going to have fun building this. I'm going to get right on the turret itself because I've got to use that for another project. So thanks for joining us today, folks, and we will see you again next week on The Stash.